have a question for everybody. Who accomplishes everything that you plan to do each month? Raise your hand.
Oh, me, all the time.
Okay, that's great, because I don't either. And I don't think it's realistic for us to do that because life happens. So I think we need to give ourselves a little bit of grace. I've got 7 points that I want to cover about managing all the madness that you have to do. We've learned a ton of stuff to make our businesses run smoothly, but it's about picking the things that you want to implement first. But one thing that I think you have to figure out is what type of person you are and what kind of method's going to work best for you. So raise your hand, and I'll read out a couple descriptions and you'll figure out really quickly who you are. Are you a techie person? Or is your name Tiffany Foreman? If you don't have your phone or your iPad, do you hyperventilate? Do you prefer digital calendars? Do you use Evernote? So who's techie? Okay, couple. Okay. Are you a binder person? Now that means that everything is categorized into a nice, neat binder system behind bookcases, behind your desk, and it's neat and tidy, and you just open up a binder and everything is there. Okay. Now, are you a visual person? Visual means that you have cork boards, dry erase boards, large post-it notes on your office walls. You could not literally function without post-it notes and colorful markers. Who's that? Okay. So, you're about to see which one I am because I'm visual, so I'm going to do this whole thing visually. Okay, you ready? There we go. Okay, so here are the top things that I do to manage the madness. The first one is a team vision board. This goes with me to every team meeting, but I have it in my office where I can see it all the time. Now, the middle part, I'll zoom in on that so you can see it. The middle part shows our team neighborhood, and what we're trying to do right now is I just have a vision of a senior team at this point. I've got one director who is promoted, Stacy. You'll see her picture there beside her home, and then all her consultants on her team so far. And then down at the bottom, what you're seeing are post-it notes with the names of everybody on my team who is recruited, who they've recruited underneath them, and you can see over to the far, I guess it's left, I've got one girl, two that she's recruited, and then that third person she's recruited too, so she's really close. So it gives me a visual of where we are and who I need to be talking to. If you look, let's see, I think they're kind of out of order here. Oh, let me skip this one. Oh, no. Oh, I think they're out of order. Okay. That's okay. That's okay. There was one slide that I had pictured on here, and I didn't see it on, that I didn't see on here, but it's to the right of my vision board. There's a fast track flyer to the right, and then at the bottom there are post-it notes. And each consultant on my team that is within their 90 days, I have their name, and then a 30 and their 30-day end date, and a 90 and their 90 end date. Was it on there?
Yeah, it was on your first.
I mean, it was on your first one.
It was on my first one with the full one.
There it is. Okay, I thought I zoomed in on that one. So that's what that looks like, so I can tell immediately who's in their first 30 days, 90 days, who's getting close to that, so that I can make plans during the week that those are the people that I need to contact.
Did you do that for your whole org or just for your personals?
Everybody. Yeah, everybody. Next thing is a personal vision board. This was my vision board from last year, and I always do a word of the year. Do you guys do vision boards and words of the year? It really makes a difference. When I look at this vision board from last year, my vision was to focus on others, and that's what I did. The big goal was to recruit more, and I recruited 12 the year before, and in 2016 it was 25. Wow. So that really helped. needed to be a happy year for me. This year it's more of a specialized goal, more things that I can track. But this year was just about finding my calling, don't be chicken, do more of what you love, that kind of thing. Here's my vision board for this year. And it's a lot more things that are going to help me stay goal-oriented. If you look over at the top, it's a big year for me. I'm turning 50. So I'm kind of happy about that because it's better than the alternative, right? Okay, so there are some special trips we have planned this year. Word for the year is grow. And growth. I can totally see everything on this board happening. I'm growing in my marriage. Over this little palm tree it says fall in love all over again. We're taking a couple cool trips, one of them with Pampered Chef. Growing with my team, growing in leadership. Over here you'll see this big grassy area because my husband has promised me that we're going to reseed our yard, so we're going to grow some grass too.
Okay.
Isn't that fun? Okay. So, we'll move on here. There's that one I was missing. Okay, that's okay. Team recruiting. This is really, really simple. Stacy was talking about that big freezer paper. What I do is I have giant Post-it notes. And with a month, I'll just take a marker and write a month down. And each person that comes on to our team that month, their name and their recruiter goes up there. So I can see if we're hitting our team goal or team recruiting goals for that month. Oh, there we go. There it is. Thank you. Okay. So last year, I just put at the top, Sweet 16, do it scared. Our goal last year was 50 organizational recruits. We actually did 47 by the end of December, so I thought that was pretty cool. We did have the one director promotion. I know that I'm up in my game with recruiting instead of 2. I know I can do that, so I'm going to up it to 3. My new director is going to start lead, so she's going to be doing 2 a month. So our new one for 2017 is going to be 85. So when I did the calculations for that, that's what I came out with. When they qualify, I put a check mark beside their name, so that lets me know how many more people that we need to qualify. Next one is our team show calendar. That is just a calendar, the company calendar. And at each team meeting, as they come in and write their name tag, I have them take a ticket for every show that they write down on the calendar. At the end of the meeting, I draw a ticket and I give away business supplies or seasonings or spices, something like that. But it gives me a basis which to work for show-based coaching. So as I'm talking to them, text them or call them before every show, after every show, find out where their new shows are, add them to the team calendar. So it just helps me keep up with that.
What do you do for catalog shows?
They put a C if it's a catalog show or a V if it's virtual. It's just on there, it's cooking, so I can determine which is which. Dry erase board, this is for leads. Last year my goal was 2, and you can still, I still have 1 and 2 up there. Over to the right, or I guess it's over to the left you guys are looking at, personal goals. And then here's how I keep track. The yellow Post-its are leads that I'm currently working with. So when they sign, I pull their name off of that. When they tell me no, not ever, their name gets pulled off of that. Otherwise, their name stays up there. You can see the one girl, I don't know if you can see, it says Jasmine Bowser March. I followed up with her. She said contact me again in March, so I have that up there. The blue Post-it notes, those are team members and their leads. So when we have conversations, I can ask them, hey, I can ask Tracy, hey, what about Misty? When's the last time you talked to her? And then I make notes during our personal coaching calls to talk with her. This is the board that I use for meetings. It's a little wine cork board. My daughter made that for me. It's great because it's got wine. She used to with wine corks. She knew me, so that's a special board. That's for meetings. So what I did was have our meeting broken down. We had a lead webinar where Julie asked us to kind of incorporate some different things in our meeting. So, and determine what of the seven, was it the 7 key elements? Fit and trim, yeah, fit and trim, thank you. So fit and trim for me was inspiration and motivation. That's what I felt like I was lacking. So that's what I wanted to incorporate in our meeting. So I have all the different elements up there: motivation, recognition, activity, and training and call to action. So during the month, if I see like an inspirational video on YouTube, or if I see something posted on another Facebook page, what I do is I will jot that information down, and then with my new director, we have a meeting planner towards the middle of the month, right before our meeting. So she and I are going to be responsible for different meeting elements. So we just kind of get together and figure that out. But during the whole month, we're actually planning the meetings. So it makes it a whole lot simpler.
Explain to me what fit and trim is one more time. I've never heard the phrase, and I just need to tie it together.
Fit and trim.
Okay, so fit and trim are acronyms.
You have to come up front, we can't hear you.
Get
in front of this camera. Stand next to, yeah,
Fit and trim.
stand next to Kim.
Okay, so fit and trim is an acronym that goes down. So FIT, TRIM. So fit, trim are together. So the first F is for fun. I is for interactive. T is for timely. So these are in regards to your meetings. So that's fit. Trim, the T stands for training. R is recognition. I is information. M is motivation. So fit and trim.
Do it again, say it.
Fun, interactive, timely, training, recognition, information, motivation.
Beautiful.
So we were asked, we went through a webinar and we were asked what area did we feel like we were lacking in that we needed to work on.
And then were all of these things you work on? Or were these just things you're going to focus on?
Things that we wanted to focus on. The one thing that we needed to focus on to make our meetings better, to make them fit and trim. So for me it was motivation. I felt like my meeting was really heavy in training, and then I needed to do more motivational.
So you want your meeting to be fit and trim?
Fit and trim,
Include
yes.
all of those?
Right.
And then
Fit
you
and
ask
trim.
then someone asks you which ones are you lacking? And
Right.
That's the one.
To help us kind of narrow it down into categories.
Got it.
Yeah. So really quickly on these, that's just, I'm sure you all have a calendar system that you use. That's my paper calendar system. Month at a glance where I can see everything. Show dates, appointments, everything's on there. Next one is my week at a glance. And I use Post-it notes. That's how I train. So if we have coaching calls scheduled with consultants, when I have those scheduled, they get a little Post-it note. We've written our goals on there, what they want to achieve by the next call, and their show schedule on there. So it's right there. If I'm taking that with me, and I'm on the road somewhere and we have a call, I can open that up and tell, ask them about their shows. How about this next one? What was your goal you had, we had talked about, and we just use that for personal coaching. Then on to Facebook. Facebook posts, I think we pretty much talked about that. I post our team monthly goals. I do a countdown every Friday. We're at this amount for our sales goal. We're at this amount for our recruiting goal. I do a shout out to everybody that's active, a shout out on there if you've already sold 750 or more, because I want them to see their name as much as possible. And then for meeting attendance, anything that I want to give them a shout out for during the month, like you were talking with what you were doing. I use Red Stamp, so you can go onto Red Stamp, and I think Paula mentioned that last night. That's just a template that says grateful, and the awesome sauce is the picture that I just pulled off the internet to plug in there. So everybody gets one of those that's active for the month, or anytime they do anything. That today's sales report is the coolest thing in the world, and you're looking at it every day. So when you see somebody that does something really cool, just take a time and a few minutes and send them a little text. I had one girl tell me at our team meeting on Monday, she works full time, and she said, "You don't know how valuable that is to me." to get that little cute text from you in the middle of my busy day at work when I feel unappreciated. And when she gets that from me, she loves it. She just loves it. Okay, I think that's about everything.
Awesome.